Hi, my name is Terry Harrington, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Technically Speaking. Technically Speaking is a monthly program produced by SCCRESA that features the learning opportunities provided to our high school students attending the St. Clair County Technical Education Center. TEC is celebrating its 35th anniversary, and we wanted to give you the chance to get an in-depth look at the variety of programs of study provided here. We'll even meet many of the TEC students, the staff, and alumni. In this edition of Technically Speaking, we'll be focusing on the Construction Trades program. And over the 35 years, this program has been among the most popular choices for students. Talk about your hands-on learning opportunities. Students in the construction trade programs are involved in hands-on activities every single day, whether it's learning in the workshop or actually building a house. Even with the tough economy here in Michigan, there are still many job opportunities in the construction trades. America's Career InfoNet is projecting about a 10% growth in the number of jobs available for students over the next 6 years or so, and the wages are also expected to be good. There will always be a need for men and women to build and to fix homes, office buildings, and factories. Rather than have me continuing talking about the Construction Trades program, let's meet up with one of the instructors from TEC's Construction Trades program, Marvin Shagney, when we come back from this. Well, here we are back on Technically Speaking, and we're talking about the Construction Trades program here at the St. Clair County Technical Education Center. And we're out in the workshop of this program, and joining me now is the teacher for the first year part of the program, Marvin Shagney. Marvin, welcome to the program.
Hi, Terry.
And Marv, I've had an opportunity to know you for a number of years, and know you've done a lot of things in construction. So give us a little bit of your background, which led you to taking the teaching position here.
Well, it started when I was about 8 years old. I started with my grandfather. He was a builder in town, so I went on job sites with him and worked with him for many years. And then as I got through into high school, I came out to TEC, and I went to school here at TEC in the construction program for 3 years, and I was with Barry Smith, and we built the first TEC house for TEC. And then I went on to college and got a civil engineering degree. And once I got out of college, I had worked construction, and then worked 7 years with my own business, and then decided I wanted to get into teaching, and then followed that road of teaching, and now here I am working at TEC.
That's got to be kind of unique for you, being a former student in the program, to actually be teaching in the program.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because we built the first house for TEC, so it was pretty cool.
What kind of skills do the students in your program learn as going through the two-year program?
Well, they learn construction, they learn plumbing, they also do electrical, and then we do mason work.
Do you have a number of students who go on and make that a career?
Yes, we have quite a few students that go into either an apprenticeship program. They can go on into college and get a management degree, or they could just work for a family business.
Now, a lot of the programs here at TEC also prepare the students for state tests. You know, automotive, cosmetology, which we just looked at, is real focused on getting the kids ready to take that state board. Is there anything like that for the students in the construction trade?
At this time we don't have anything, but in the future we're looking at probably getting them ready for their builder's license, and that might happen within the next few years, starting to work with these kids so that when they get done they'll have to go up to a college and finish up a couple more classes, and then they can write for the builder's test.
But you also mentioned too previously that there are apprenticeship programs that these kids can fit right into. Are there any special requirements for that?
To get into the apprenticeship programs, all they have to do is apply for the apprenticeship program. Once they get accepted, they'll move right in from our program, our 2-year program here, and they actually have a 2-year head start on the apprenticeship.
Now, you mentioned that there's 4 basic areas that the students study here in the program. Do they have to master all of those parts of it, or can they, after they try all 4, then maybe specialize for the second year?
Well, I like to have each student touch the 4 different areas that we do teach, so that, because some of them come in and say, all I want to do is carpentry, and after they do mason work, they say, I want to be a mason now, because they've never touched it before or done it. So it sparks interest in some of the kids for different areas.
And my guess probably helps tie it all together, how they all work with each other and to build that building or that house.
Yep. They learn how each different trade works, what it takes for each trade, and then if they were to own their own business, they would know what they'd have to get done before that trade got on the job site.
One thing you mentioned, you were able to build one of the first houses, and that's kind of unique to this program, that the kids really get to build on construction sites off campus. Tell us about what Tech has made available for students with that.
Well, what they do is they're able to, each day they go over either first session or second session, and they go over and build the work on the house. As far as roughing in the house, hanging drywall, putting the plumbing in, putting electrical in, sheeting the roof, putting shingles on, setting windows, so they do all the facets of building a house.
And those houses are located right across the street on Range Road here, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
So the next time you get to cruise down Range Road, take a look and you can actually see, and people have bought those homes, families have bought those homes and are living in them.
Yep, that's right.
What kind of student do you find interested in coming into the construction trades program?
A lot of people most of the students that we have are hands-on students. They like to work with their hands. They have to have a little knowledge in math, they have to do a little geometry, and they have to be able to follow directions.
Now, do they have to be real strong in the geometry area, or is that something you help them with as you go along?
That's something we help them with here at Tech. One of the things we try to help them with is adding and subtracting fractions, reading a ruler. That's the most important thing to be on a construction site, is being able to read that ruler.
Now, traditionally, this is one of those programs you mainly see a lot of men working in construction, but are there opportunities for the young ladies out there?
Sure, we have a lot of young ladies in the class. This year we have one. 2 years ago we had 4, and I understand next year we might have 3 young ladies.
How about out in the actual profession? Are there a lot of opportunities for them?
Sure. If they want to go ahead and go out and work, if you go around on job sites, you see a lot of young ladies or women working out in the job sites.
Now, if a parent came up to you and said, hey, why would my son and daughter benefit from this program, what would you tell the parents?
Well, one thing, you're going to own a home. So I tell them that if these young students could learn something, they could, when they buy their house, they could work on their own home, they can do some work at their own house, and it's a good career. It doesn't take, most apprenticeships are 4 to 5 years. It's just like going to college. You can work 4 days a week and go into an apprenticeship program for 1 day a week, and you're getting paid while you're at that apprenticeship program.
And despite the economy, my guess is we're always going to have needs for these type of skills just to maintain what we have or to build new, aren't we?
We need the trades. If you don't have the trades, you can't build things.
That's great. When we come back, we're going to have the opportunity to meet some of the students, see some of the work that they're doing here at Tech. So don't you go away. We'll be right back on Technically Speaking.
Welcome to St. Clair County, a great place to live, work, and visit. Our firefighters, law enforcement officers, and paramedics are highly trained and pride themselves in responding to assist you in a matter of minutes. However, in a large-scale event, emergency responders may not be able to assist everyone in the first few minutes, hours, or even days. Would you be ready if your power was out for several days? A storm confined you to your home for an extended period of time, if authorities requested you evacuate immediately. The Be Ready for 72 Hours program allows you to take charge before an emergency to assure your family and neighbors remain safe. Simple steps like having a plan and emergency supply kit can make the difference between being in harm's way or being safe and secure. Don't wait until it's too late to prepare. Be ready now, St. Clair County.
Everyone has friends. There's online friends, friends to go out with on a Saturday night, friends to hang out with and do nothing, friends who show up on moving day. And then there are the friends who'll be there if someone is dealing with a mental illness. Are you one of those friends?
Welcome back to Technically Speaking, and for those of you who've seen the program before, you know this is my favorite segment where we had the opportunity to meet some of the students attending here at Tech. For this segment, we're outside in the backside of Tech facing the I-94 freeway. It's probably why you're hearing some of the road noise, but the students here in the construction trade programs are building these wood sheds that they will be making available to the public. So joining me now, I have 2 students from the East China School District. We have Cody Manzo and Dave Hagan. Guys, welcome.
Thanks. Welcome.
Cody,
Thank you.
what school do you go to and what grade are you in?
St. Clair High School, and I'm a junior.
I go to Marine City and I'm a senior.
So Cody, why did you decide to join the construction trades program?
I always liked designing, you know, building houses, and I wanted to get my hands on, actually drive some nails, run some saws, and it's helped me out.
Do you have a chance to do some of that stuff, working around the house, helping Dad and do different things?
Yep, I build fences and gates. When we do electrical, I put in some electrical outlets in my house, stuff like that.
And Dave, I know you came from a different tech program, so why did you decide to make the switch and come over here?
Well, in my information tech class last year, we didn't do pretty much a lot of hands-on. We were a lot in the book, and I just wanted to get my hands-on, like do some actual work and stuff like that.
So what kind of skills are you guys learning here in the class?
Carpentry, masonry, electrical, just stuff like that.
Anything you like best?
Oh, carpentry for sure.
Do you really
Yep, I
rough
love
or
building
finished?
stuff.
Or?
Yep, I like both.
Okay, good.
Yep.
How about you, Cody?
Either carpentry or electrician work.
Okay, great. Now today you're going to demonstrate a couple of things that you're doing on the woodshed. Is this typical what you guys would do here, or do you have a lot of classroom stuff and things inside the shop practicing and that kind of thing?
For the first probably 3 months, I'd say it was a lot of, you know, safety, book work. But after that, you get out in the shop every day, you practice, and then you come out here and do this. This makes it worth it.
Well, that's good. Now, for this particular shed that you're going to be working on today for us, did the class actually design these, or they come from a kit, or how did this part work?
Mr. Shagney pretty much gave us the dimensions and all the layouts and stuff. We just had to cut and pretty much put it up.
Now, just looking at it from the outside, you can see some trusses. Of course, we've got a roof. Obviously, you have structure on the inside that we can't see. But did you guys have to build all of those things?
Yep,
and
we
do
built
all the
everything from
measures?
scratch. Measured it.
So what kind of skills do you come with? Do you have to have a lot of math skills or geometry?
Yeah,
and
you
some
have
of
to
that?
have a lot of math. Mr. Shagney helps you out with that before we come out here and do stuff like that.
So what part do you like best about doing the design and stuff before you actually make that first cut?
You know, I like running the saws, getting my hands dirty, and then the best feeling is actually seeing your product when it's all done.
I imagine this is one of the few programs you can see that instant gratification
Right.
from the time you make the first cut till the paint dries, right?
Right.
So great. Guys, if you had to talk to your classmates back at your home schools about coming to tech, what advice would you give them? What would you tell them why they should choose tech?
When you go to tech, you just pretty much do a lot of hands-on, not just book work and stuff. And you're here for almost 3 hours, so you get a lot of it and you learn a lot.
Great. Okay. So tell me a little bit about what you're going to demonstrate for us this morning.
I'm going to run the saw and cut this 1x5. It's already painted white, and it's measured at 77 inches. And you measure twice and cut once, so you don't have to keep doing that.
Good rule of thumb.
And then after that's all cut, both pieces, it's going to be nailed here with 8 penny nails, galvanized, and make it look nice.
And this is really a trim piece that you have for
Right.
it. Now I noticed on the other side of the wood too, it's pretty rough sawn, and so this is a special wood that's made just for the exterior and for that kind of look too, right?
Yep.
Right, yep.
Okay. Good. Well, go ahead and tell us what you need to do and how we're going to do this.
All right. My partner Dave's going to come here and hold this so it doesn't fall, and going to cut.
Cody, have you ever had the case where you kind of miscut and had to redo it all over again?
Yep. Yes.
That's good. Well, good. I'm glad. It makes me feel a little bit better because I have to do that quite often.
Yeah, you get the hang of it after a while.
But I'm sure Mr. Shagney, and if you were on an actual construction site, the boss wouldn't be too pleased. So.
No, not wasting material.
Yeah,
He kinda
definitely.
gets honest about that.
All right. Very good. We'll continue.
Set this down.
So we got the one done. And actually, as you go around the building, you're going to have 2 of these on each of the 4 corners, right?
Right.
Okay. Now it looks like we got a little extra piece on the end, so how we're going to take care of that?
Just take a hammer to it probably. We can knock that off.
Alrighty.
Just that works.
Good thing it's on the side you're not going to see, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I think it's those pieces, aren't they?
Okay, now again, we had pre-measured these, and how long are these pieces?
77 inches.
Okay, very good.
You get it level?
Yeah. Okay, so that's good.
Now, what's that tool you're using there, Dave?
This is a speed square, and it's just to make sure it's all square all the way down.
Okay.
I'm just gonna start it now.
So I think that's good right about there.
Check it up there again. Yep, that's good.
Now, how much time have you spent working on the shed so far in class?
Probably 2 weeks.
2 weeks
Oh,
or so.
okay.
Yeah,
Anything surprise you about building this that you weren't anticipating?
Probably framing. It's not as hard as once you get to know how to do it. It's not as hard as everybody thinks, but it's fun.
Good.
So you want to switch around with me?
Now, I know you're not going all the way up to the top of your sheeting up there. Why not? Or do you take it all the way up top?
Right here.
Yes.
There's gonna be aluminum cover over this 2x6 right here, so you can't see that wood exposed right there.
Okay.
And it's gonna tuck in right here.
Okay, so you need to leave a little space.
Right,
Yep,
right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is that good?
Yep.
Still good?
Yep.
Now, because this will also be exposed, are you going to put a bead of caulk down here, or is that going to be sealed up enough?
That's something Mr. Shagney hasn't discussed with us yet. I mean, we
Okay.
could.
All right. Other little tricks of the trade, right?
Right. Leaving these a little bit out in case we might have to take this back off to put that aluminum on.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, pretty much everything you guys do in classes and teams or in pairs at least. So you're working together a lot.
Sometimes it is. Most of the time it's probably by yourself. Other than
Oh,
this.
really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, like masonry, you get your own block to build your own wall. Electrician, you get your own wall to wire up.
Okay, good. So, well, great. Well, guys, thanks for demonstrating this. And obviously, this is just one of 4 corners that you're going to be doing. So, I guess we better let you get to work so you can finish the shed up. So, thanks a lot. And when we come back in a couple minutes, we're going to go inside and take a look at some of the electrical work that these students are learning here in the construction trades program here at Tech. Well, we've moved indoors now into the lab area or the workshop area of the building trades program here at Tech. And joining me now from Marysville High School is Ryan Seeley. Ryan, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So Ryan, you're a junior in the program. Are you specializing in something, or are you doing a little bit of everything in the program as well?
We've been doing a little bit of everything. I haven't quite figured out what I like right now. I mean, I think everything's been kind of fun. So.
But today you're going to demonstrate a little bit of the electrical work. How difficult has that been for you to learn?
The electrical wasn't too bad. It's pretty easy. I mean, it's straightforward once they teach you what wire to use.
And I see right here we've got the copper, the black, and the white. So I guess that's pretty elementary to be able to do that, right?
Yeah. These are one of the easier ones right here.
Have they had any of those jobs where you've had like multiple cables coming in, different colors and everything yet? Or?
Yeah, I did a couple of those, and honestly, that's just a fly-by-as-you-go type thing.
Okay. Great. What are some of the skills that you need to have to be successful in this program?
Some of the skills you need are like you need to have at least you have to be able to want to do this, and you have to have the ability to learn how to do it. If you know.
Do you have to have any special science or math skills as well, or?
A lot of it's getting taught through the books and all that we do. So.
Mm-hmm. Now, if one of your classmates came up to you and said, "Hey, Ryan, I know you go to Tech and all that. Is that something I could consider or should consider?" What would you tell them? How would you respond?
I would definitely say yes to that, because when I came to Tech, not only did it help me succeed, but it brought my GPA up. It helped me with all my other classes. And honestly, I think it's worthwhile because you're learning something you could do in the future, you know?
Yeah, and especially whether you're going to be doing this as a career or just working around the house once you get your own home.
Right,
established.
exactly.
Well, that's good. Well, tell me a little bit about what we're going to be doing today and what you're going to be demonstrating for us.
Well, what we're going to be doing today is doing a single pole switch up to a light with the feed from the bottom. And as you can see, I've already got the wire already in, so all I got to do is just strip the wires and hook them all up, and we should be ready to go.
And this is what you typically find in most homes or garages or something like that.
Yeah, like a light switch, you know.
Okay. All right. Well, go ahead and then start doing your work and describe to us what exactly you're working on.
Right now, I'm stripping the wire so that we can connect it to where it needs to go.
Now, I noticed too your wires are all out of the box.
Yeah.
And they're about the same. Like, how much extra wire do you usually have out?
I usually have about 6 inches extra out. That way, if you make a mistake, you got a little bit of room to play.
Okay. But it's not that hard to tuck those back in?
No, it's real easy.
Okay. What gauge wire are you using?
Right now, we're using 14 gauge.
Is that pretty standard for most home applications?
Yes, except for in the bathroom where you'd use 12 gauge.
Why was that? Because of a motor you may have for the blower and type of thing?
Yeah, that way moisture doesn't affect it quite as easily.
Okay, sure. All righty.
Now I'm going to bend the wire so we can put it on the switch.
Okay. Now you're going to use the kind where you have to do the screw rather than the new ones where you can just kind of poke it straight in, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, you can do either, but the way we were taught it was to do that way so it doesn't vibrate loose.
Okay. Now you have the one you're working on right now has no insulation on that at all. Now that's considered your ground wire, right?
Yeah.
How important is having a good ground in every circuit?
It's very important. That way if something does happen, it'll pop the circuit. And if you're around water, you know, it's not going to zap you.
Okay. And my guess is in a lot of the older homes, you may not have that third ground wire, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Some of them are not there.
Now, what's the purpose of putting the caps on?
Just to make sure they don't come loose, so that way you got a good ground.
Oh, okay.
Then if this box right here for this light were a metal box, you would use the ground to ground the box out.
Oh, okay.
But since it's a plastic box, you don't really need it.
Okay. Now I noticed in the bottom one you have 2 sets of wires, where up here you only have the one. What's the difference?
The difference is down here, this is your power source, and this is the one that feeds up to the light. So you hook this one to the top of the switch and this one to the bottom. Then you got your source up top.
Oh,
for your
okay.
light.
Now for wiring a home, I mean, that's something you really have to know what you're doing to do it correctly, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
How dangerous can it be if you don't do it correctly?
Oh, that could be very dangerous. I mean, you could have a house fire, you could kill yourself. I mean, you know, if you haven't ever done it before, I wouldn't recommend trying it.
Okay. Now, when you graduate from the Tech Construction Trades program, and if you decide not to go on to college or further training, is there other training that you will have to take before you can become a licensed electrician?
Definitely, yeah. There's, in fact, if you want to become a licensed one, you have to pretty much take a class.
Okay.
And have some on-the-job experience as an apprentice.
Okay.
Make sure your wires are tight, your screw caps are tight, and then.
Now, if this was typical, I noticed you had the 2 white wires still capped together. Wouldn't they be part of the switch as well? Or is it because of the application that you're using you wouldn't do that?
No, it'd still be the same way even in a house. So.
Well, here's the light bulb for you.
All right. Thank you.
Get a chance to see if this is going to work. Now, typically you would have it wired into a circuit box or whatever. For this application, we're just plugging it into
for demonstration
an outlet,
purposes.
Right? Yeah. Okay. And really what the switch is, it just actually breaks the circuit that we created. The circuit comes into here.
Correct.
And then the switch actually opens it or closes it depending on if you want the light on or off.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
All right. It's also very important that when you do this, you make sure your power is disconnected at all times.
Have you ever been jolted?
Haven't been that unfortunate yet.
Good. Well, that's good to hear.
All right. You're getting ready to power it up. You might want to watch out just in case.
Alrighty.
All right, now we're live, so.
Let's see what happens. There we go. Good job.
Simple as that.
Very good. So, so whether you're going on to do this for a living or just want to learn these skills to be able to do fix things around the house, this is a good program to be in, isn't it?
Yep, definitely.
Very good. Well, Ryan, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate that and the
for having me.
demonstration, taking the time, and best of luck to you as you continue on to your senior year next year.
Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Ryan.
It can be a little awkward when your friend tells you he's been diagnosed with a mental illness. But what's even more awkward is, if you're not there for him, he's less likely to recover.
I'm here to help, man, whatever it takes.
Thanks. You believe this guy?
Are you trying to start a wildfire?
Sorry. Pass the honey?
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
On this segment of Technically Speaking, we're visiting LeDuc Construction in Marysville and talking with owner Craig LeDuc, who is a Tech graduate. And so, Craig, welcome to the program. And when did you graduate from Tech, and when did you start your construction company?
Well, I graduated in 1979, and I started in 1979. So I went through the School of Hard Knocks, and it worked out quite well.
Well, it's got to be kind of, I don't want to say weird or different, but not too many high school kids go out and start their own company right out of high school.
No, you learn rejection really fast, yeah, and perseverance. So it was 1979. Those were pretty tough times, similar to what we are in now. But it's a great time to start a business because you do appreciate every job that you get.
Great. Now here you are 31 years later and going strong, right?
There you go. We're pretty busy. We're very thankful for the work we've got.
How did Tech prepare you not only for the construction part, but even the business side of what you have to do?
Well, the construction was kind of neat because it gave you an opportunity to explore the different categories of building, you know, such as your plumbing or your electrical or your roofing or your masonry, your carpentry. So it gave you a little taste of what's out there in the trades, and that was neat because right away you're going to find if that's your niche or not. And then the other thing is, as far as the in-house, you're learning some of the business part of it, the expectations, what it takes, so it's not a free-for-all. So it's a professional business, just like any other business out there.
What was your experience like at Tech?
You know, it was pretty neat. It was the second year that Tech opened, and you know, there was a lot of training. They were still getting things established. We built a second home over there. They've got a neat book. I still have the book. It's called Modern Carpentry. Very neat book. We did a lot of reading, a lot of in-house training, and then, in fact, I believe we built the big storage shed out there as well.
Oh, okay.
It's like a little post and building. So it was a good experience, and I looked forward to leaving the high school, going over to Tech, and I believe they also had it was like a co-op program, so that got me established with a local builder at the time, and it just one thing led to another.
So just a wealth of experience, both hands-on and then, as you said, business side, that really prepared you for what you're doing
Oh,
today.
absolutely, and I'm sure it's even better now than it was back then because there's years of perfecting, and the business has changed for all businesses. So you have to keep up with your technology and your websites and, you know, all the other things that are out there.
How do you do that? I mean, you take a look at the construction trade, the way you build things, the materials you use today, even the ordinances and the codes that you have to meet. How do you keep up with all of that?
A lot of work, a lot of perseverance, and a lot of desire. So, you know, you need to really just stay in touch with what's going on out there. We're a member of the Southeastern Michigan Builders Association, so that works out quite well. Keeps us in touch with what's going on. We do stay in touch with all the new products out there, the new codes that are out, coming and going, and then just really listening to our clients and delivering what they're after.
Would you say it's harder for a student to do what you did today than it was when you did it back in 1979?
You know, I don't know, because those are tough times back then, and these are tough times right now. So it's all about desire and perseverance, and how bad do you want it? So if you want it, it's out there. That's for sure. There's plenty of work out there, but it's selective. So I'd say it's about the same. It's tough, but it's more about business than the building, because building will automatically come, but you need to run a good business.
What advice would you give to today's students coming out of tech?
I would say, you know, you're not going to start at the top. You're going to be a laborer, but just take it all in. Experience what's out there. Take a good hard look at what you like, what you don't like. How do you want to be perceived, and stay at it. You know, it's not for everybody. But it's a tough business, but it's a great business. It's been good for me, and I enjoyed every bit of it. I don't think I would change one thing.
Great. If a parent came up to you and said, "Why should my son or daughter go to tech?" What would you tell them?
Well, I would say it really prepares them for the future, as far as knowing, you know, where do you want to be? Do you like the construction industry, or do you like one of the other offerings that tech has to offer? And it gives you a head start. It gives you a kind of a feel for, you know, what your future can bring, and then you can maybe carve out your future for going to college to say, you know, I want to go into this trade, or I want to go into that trade, and then you can be a little bit more focused and streamline yourself through school.
Great. Well, Craig Leduc, thank you for joining us on Technically Speaking. 31 years in business and a 1979 graduate of tech. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us in this edition of Technically Speaking as we celebrate 35 years of St. Clair Tech. We hope you've enjoyed this look into the construction trades program, and we'd like to thank the instructor Marvin Shagney and his students. To learn more about the construction trades program or any of the other programs offered at St. Clair Tech, please visit the Tech website at sctech.org. We hope to see you next time. We're Technically Speaking.